What's good, YouTube? It's your boy KFX. I'm back here with another video and another Dolphins victory. Going into the bye week, we are now 7-3, ladies and gentlemen. The Miami Dolphins finally actually blew out a team. So we're gonna get into this video real quick. Shout out to people who like this video before they even heard the sentence. I'm a little late on this video because I had to watch the Bills game. The Bills lost, which, like, I ain't gonna lie, watching our arch nemesis or enemies lose, it's not as good as the Dolphins win, but it's up there. You know what I'm saying? I love to watch the Bills fail, like, on the same tier as I like to watch the Dolphins win. Okay, the Bills losing, or whoever's the top at the division at the time, whether it's the Patriots or whatever, them losing, just it's like watching the Dolphins win twice. You know what I'm saying? So to see the Bills lose, it was absolutely beautiful. It was a perfect way, and the way they lost, Josh Allen just fucking selling the game twice. It was a beautiful thing. But anyways, we're gonna get into this game because that's what we're talking about. The Miami Dolphins destroyed the Cleveland Browns. If you guys remember, the Cleveland Browns destroyed the Miami Dolphins back when we was rebuilding 2 years ago. So this was basically payback. We should have scored over 40 points, but Jason Sanders missed a few field goals, missed about 2 extra points, and then one time when we should have kicked 3, we went for it and didn't get it. So I don't know what's going on with Jason Sanders. We'll get to it in a second, but real quick, we're gonna talk about the offense. The offense was unstoppable. We did not punt the ball not one single time. This is the first time since 1988 that the Dolphins did not punt the ball one time in the game. So chances are, if you're at my age or a little older or younger than me, you never seen a Dolphins team never punt the ball one time. So we didn't punt the ball one time. Not saying that we didn't have an opportunity to punt. Did we even come close to getting a, I don't know. Every third down we were getting. So yeah, we just didn't punt the ball one time all game. Not fake punt or nothing. Thomas Morstead did not touch the field one time, and that's a great accomplishment. Like the Browns are not the best team in the world, but they are an NFL team, right? And on defense, they still have Myles Garrett and Jadeveon Clowney, and they had Denzel Ward back, so they're not trash. Nobody in the NFL is trash. I mean, I don't care who you're playing. It's the NFL. It's not college football. There's no free games here. And so for us to beat them in this convincingly, that was pretty special, because a lot of times we don't beat the teams that we're supposed to beat by a lot. I think this is the first super blowout we had in a long time, to the point where Skylar Thompson actually got to get in the game, and he even do a completion. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, we should have had 40, but Jason Sanders was missing field goals. Tua looked amazing today as well. Let me see what his stats are. 3 touchdowns, 285 yards, and 25 for 32. Great stats. Our run game was amazing. We have a 100-yard rusher. Jeff Wilson, Raheem Mostert only had 65 yards. He's averaging 8 yards a carry. He just had less carries. That's the only reason. They could not stop us on the run game. They could not stop us in the passing game. They didn't stop anything the whole game. Tyreek Hill scored. Waddle didn't score, but Tyreek scored. The ball was so evenly distributed. Look, Trent Sherfield had 63. Engo 45. Tyreek 44. Mike Gesicki 31. Everybody was just touching the ball. Everybody was scoring. Mostert scored. Jefferson scored. Sherfield scored. Engo scored. And Tua, you know what I'm saying? He just was distributing the ball to everybody, threw some amazing passes this game. Looking like he's almost in the MVP conversation. Well, he is in the MVP conversation. He could almost take the lead because Josh Allen played terrible. I just have to low-key kind of pray on Jalen Hurts' downfall, because I do want Tua to win an MVP. I would want any Dolphin player to win an MVP. So I got to kind of pray on Jalen Hurts' downfall, because I feel like that's the person that's in the way right now. And obviously Patrick Mahomes, you always have to worry about, but I feel like Patrick Mahomes is less of a concern, just because his record is not undefeated, right? And also because, sometimes it's like the LeBron syndrome, where even though everybody kind of knows LeBron was the best in the league, he wasn't winning MVP every single year, because sometimes they want to give it to somebody else. So I'm hoping that it is something similar there, where we're not going to give it to Patrick every year, even though we could. Let's give it to, the other guy. So I'm hoping that's how Tua can win, you know what I'm saying? Rather than Josh Allen win, as I don't want Josh Allen to win. And I don't even know how much MVPs Mahomes has, but yeah, obviously Mahomes is going to be in that conversation every time. But we'll talk about that later. We got to continue to play well, take it one game at a time. But yeah, our offense looked amazing, and our offense has been looking amazing for a while though. But this was probably the best it's looked all season, as far as just with the run game as well. It just wasn't us leaning on a passing game. This is more what I expected when I actually first got back McDaniels. I was expecting our run game to look kind of like this. And this was a perfect team to do it against. They can't stop the run, so it was perfect. Now we get into let's see, their offense and our defense. Our defense actually played pretty well. They didn't play well at the beginning. Okay, the first drive they were getting absolutely destroyed. Second drive, they were kind of getting destroyed too until Zach Sealer forced a fumble. But then after that, when they settled down, they started playing amazing. Now, look at Amari Cooper. Dude only had 3 catches, 32 yards. Great matchup with Xavier Howard. Last time Amari Cooper did mess up Xavier Howard. This time, Xavier Howard got the better end of him. And a lot of people, again, I don't know. There's and I get why, because he's the highest paid. When you're the highest paid, obviously the highest expectations are going to be on you. So I get why, like, even when he gets one pass caught on him, everybody's like, oh my God, Xavier Howard fell off. And because he has 0 interceptions, and that's kind of like his claim to fame was being a ball hawk. But this wasn't a bad game for Xavier Howard. If you only get targeted 3 times, he shadowed Amari Cooper the whole game. And Amari Cooper only had 3 targets, 30 yards. He only had 20 yards until like super garbage time where he caught like a 10-yard pass. So this was a really amazing game. I know that we hold him to Xavier Howard to like a crazy high standard, which we probably should, because he gets paid a lot of money. So you should hold everybody that gets paid that much to his standard. So, but yeah, it wasn't a bad game. But it's like Xavier Howard has reached to a point where, since he's not getting interceptions, even if he gets one pass caught on him, we're looking on him like, oh my God, what are you doing? Like, you know what I'm saying? I mean, he got like 2 passes caught on him, and I seen fans tweeting about, oh, Xavier Howard fell off. Like, what are you? Like, I get it kind of, but I kind of don't get it. Like, I wouldn't bash him for this type of performance, but I would say, you know, obviously you want the picks, but like, and some people get praised for not getting targeted. I mean, I remember Xavier Howard was getting all his interceptions, and there was some cornerbacks that people were arguing were better than Xavier Howard, who weren't getting anywhere near the stats as far as deflections and interceptions. And then people used to just tell me, hey, well, they don't get targeted. That's how much they're respected. That's how elite they are. So if that's the case, then, well, you should think that Xavier Howard is great, because he didn't get targeted this game. But obviously he has to improve, and he has had some bad performances. So we'll see what he can do coming after the bye week. But the rest of the defense looked pretty good as well. You know, Bradley Chubb was getting to the quarterback this game. This was an interesting game because this was the first time we went up against a stationary quarterback with Bradley Chubb. Last week was our first game with Bradley Chubb, but we went up against a quarterback that's like unlike any other quarterback in terms of he can rush for 150 yards. I mean, he rushed for like 150 yards today. So that was kind of tough for like us to really get an idea of how good our pass rush is going to be, because you can't really rush those type of, you know, quarterbacks like normally. But to see him against Jacoby Brissett, a more like standard kind of, you know, not mobile quarterback at all. Well, Brissett's like uncharacteristically like immobile, but like he's super immobile. So we got to see like, okay, and Bradley Chubb looked great. He had a sack. I think, well, he had a half a sack at least. I think he had a full sack as well. Let me see what was his stats like. But I think he had a full sack, but I know he had half a sack at least. Now, he only had that half a sack, but he was getting pressures, and he was getting to the quarterback, definitely moving. He had 5 pressures the whole game, so he was moving, Jacoby Brissett, like, off where he wanted to be. You know, Melvin Ingram had a sack. Christian Wilkins had a sack. Well, I thought Christian Wilkins had a half a sack, but I guess he had a sack. Jalen Phillips had a half a sack. I thought Jalen Phillips had a full sack, too. See, so I don't know, but it was so many people who were just flying around getting sacks. And that was big for me, because it was like, you know, we put a lot of money into that defensive line, so I was really excited about that. Agba did get hurt, so hopefully he's okay. But he didn't make any plays, but he did get injured relatively early in the game. And looking at what else we want to look at, yeah, I mean, that was just the game. I mean, you know, the running game was crazy. Jeff Wilson looks really, really good. I think, you know, a lot of people want Jeff Wilson to like take Mostert's spot. I wouldn't say he should take Mostert's spot. I like actually how they were doing it. You know, the hot hand kind of gets the ball most of the time, and whoever kind of takes care of the ball the most should probably be like the guy. But I don't know who takes care of the ball the most. Neither one of them have fumbled yet, but it works out like how they're both. How we have it now, it works perfectly, I feel like, because Jeff Wilson's more physical. He's not like freaking Jerome Bettis, but he's more physical, and then Raheem Mostert is more like super fast. So, you know, I like how we're actually operating it now, where we have like them alternating, you know, and it seems like the hot hand just had the ball the most. You know, Jeff Wilson was running. He was the hot. Well, both of them was really the hot hand, but Jeff Wilson just actually broke like a super long one, and also he was just like. He was playing slightly better, so he got more carries. I mean, that's just what it is, what it should be, you know. So I think it's a perfect 1-2 combination. I don't think either one of them outshine each other, but it was a perfect 1-2 combination. Then you look at, you know, Skylar Thompson. He hasn't had one pass to Alec Ingold, so he didn't really do nothing. But that was basically the game. Dominant all the way around, except for, let's get into the bad news. Jason Sanders just can't kick anymore, and it's like one of those things I'm not gonna attack him too much because we won by so much, but the dude just forgot how to fucking kick. I don't know what's his issue, but like he's been obviously struggling all year, but today was like we were blowing him out, so like nobody really cares to like complain about it. But why? Like he's missing extra points. Like if you're missing 50 yarders, I get it, even though you got paid to make those, and so you need to make those too. But like they're more understandable. If you miss one every once in a while, I'm gonna get angry. But like this dude is missing extra points, like multiple in one game, like two. It's like, are you taking your job serious at all? I would never, and I never act like I understand how hard it is to play in the NFL, because I don't. But like, are you taking your job serious if you're literally missing extra points, and we know you can make them, like you've been making them just fine a few years ago. Like you're missing two, and it wasn't like the weather was egregious, but like you missed 2 extra points, not 40-yard extra points, multiple, and like I look at his face and he's like nonchalant. Again, I'm not no fucking psychologist. I'm not saying like I'm like a mind reader, like he doesn't care he's missing field goals. I'm sure he does, but I just look at his face. I'm just like, bro, are you taking this serious, like at all? Like you know what I'm saying? Like, are you, like, but so that's the only thing that concerns me. Like he's. Like when you look at the team played amazing besides him, and I ain't trying to bully him, but like, bro, what the f you doing, bro? Like, get it together, like, because again, this game it wasn't that serious, and we've been getting away with it in a lot of games this year. But if we need you, bro, we need you, and it's too late for me to like ever feel confident in our kicker at this point. But just show us that you can make field goals again, like, you know what I'm saying, or we have to bring in competition. I figure the reason why we haven't is because there is no really other option, because like who else we're gonna get to compete with them? It's just like, bro, you just have to get your shit together, Jason Sanders. I mean, it's nothing else. I don't know what's going on, if something going on at home or whatever, but like, bro, you're missing extra points. Like this is getting too far now. This is getting like disrespectful. But like I said, other than that, I don't think there's anything else to talk about besides I'm rooting on Jalen Hurts' downfall, and also, you know, Tua, he's a realistic candidate to win MVP this year. So I'm rooting for that. I don't want to jinx it, so I'm not saying, oh, he's gonna win MVP, but like he's a candidate for it, you know. Browns get Deshaun Watson back soon. We'll see what they do with that. But the Bills lost. We are first place in the division heading to the bye week. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about that. Like, comment, subscribe, tell everyone. Okay, placing. I'm out.